Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mystics of Texas. Today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of us take for granted, but we shouldn't, and that is our word. Like, how important is your word, what you say to somebody? And I'm not talking about with just the sound, tone, and those things. I'm talking about your commitment in what you are doing, what you're saying. And we've been talking about that overlooked, or many of the overlooked tools that the divine has given us. When I say divine, I mean God. And I like to refer to what most people say God, which is a label for this thing that we don't really know what it is. I like to say universal energies and infinite intelligence, because that resonates with me personally. So whenever I use those words, they're interchanged because that's what I feel like when I pray and meditate. So just so you new guys know that. So today we're going to be discussing another one of these tools, and that is our word, our commitment. How do we build trust and creating our reputations, and how that is something we really take for granted. You know, and there's a lot of straightforward ways to strengthen our word and our reputation, which is really important. You know, how much importance do each of us place on doing what we say we're going to do? It is very important. And honoring our word and taking into consideration how it affects our soul when we do and don't do what we say we're going to do. You know, when we commit to a job, a career, a business client, anything, and we stretch the truth, we miss deadlines that we promised without any explanations, we don't honor our end of a bargain, or we outright lie. You know, what does that do in our short life here? And how is that, and can that be, and would we consider it disrespectful to the infinite? I think so. And, you know, who wants to meditate, trust, do business with, hang out with anybody who is a liar, who's always late, who's a thief, a drunk, who likes to backstab you? Nobody wants to do those things. And if we're the person that's doing them, and we're the person not keeping our word, that's a bad thing for the whole entire circle of friends, our broader community, and for the whole world. And there's one thing before we really dive deep into this is it's a disease. There's a disease that is allowing our country and let me say it like this, by most people, many people, we all know them, and we have been responsible for doing this ourselves, not keeping our word. And by us allowing that, we're accepting deceptive governments. We are accepting lying religious leaders. We are allowing for lying central bankers, which is the main reason why everything is costing so much today. And we believe in lying warmongers. We're allowing that to happen because we're allowing other people and ourselves often to not keep our own word. So we think it is acceptable for other people not to keep their word. And I think it's a disease that bleeds onto each one of us. And every time I turn on the news and I see the propaganda and I just feel nasty, I feel like I got to go wash this disease off of me. I don't like it. And I think we really need to take just a deep breath. You know, like one of the joys of coming out here and having all of y'all here, especially new people, it's peaceful. We can take our shoes off. We can reconnect with Mother Nature. We can get to take just deep breaths and soak in true, meaningful relationships with other people. And we have a lot of power in that. We have power inside each and every one of us that we really don't fully exercise because we get so busy in our lives. And we get disconnected. And one of the great things to me about coming here is we can always remind ourselves to be connected, to stay connected, that we're all ultimately one. And it's very important for us to do that. And we're obviously a part of the universe. You know, I like to do this exercise to myself all the time. Like if you look at those stars up there, and if you were thinking of yourself on the other side of the universe, looking at Earth, you know, our little area would be one of those little tiny specks. And it would be impossible for us to look at our tiny speck and say, no, that place isn't part of the universe. But it is. I mean, we are a part of this universe. This universe somehow magically created each and every one of us. We are ultimately all stardust. It's a fascinating thing, but we are. And a lot of people don't think of it in those terms, but the universe created us. This earth created us. All the food we eat springs from this earth. And as many different people, there are as many different religions. You know, you can go into any denomination of church or synagogue or mosque, and if they're 50, 100, 200, 1,000, whatever the number, each one of those people in that same place, they got a little different perspective on exactly what they're doing in that place. So we're all different. We're all different. We all think differently. But are we disrespecting in saying that? Because we're all different, there's one commonality with us all, and that is our word. If I tell you something, if I tell Chuck this morning, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I don't, well, Chuck's not going to really want to hang out with me anymore, I don't think. And I put this up, this last one, just as a side note. It's kind of unrelated, but sort of. So when you shake somebody's hand and you tell them you're going to do something, or you're just saying hi, man, look them in the eye. Look that person in the eye when you shake their hand. It is really important. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute, like right now. You know, whenever we look at somebody, because we have to assess, we don't have to judge. You know, I can meet these new guys that came in today, and if they went and shook my hand and they started looking at the ground and him hauling around, I'm not making a judgment, I'm making an assessment, because I have to know how I'm going to react. You know, I'm going to instantly think they're insecure, they're untrustworthy, they're sneaky, they got some kind of personal issue, and they're probably not worth my effort to get to know. We're going to think that about anybody, anywhere in this life when that happens. And all of us have experienced that. You go up and you meet somebody, and the first thing they do is put their head down, or they do this number and want to walk away. That is a bad, bad sign. And it's almost like breaking your word, your commitment. Why even go up and meet somebody? You know, if I'm going to go up and meet you, I'm giving you my word, my effort, and my action. But if I'm not fully connected, and it's meaningless. It's meaningless. How can you maintain trust with anybody if you don't do what you say you're going to do? I mean, how many times have we all experienced this where the guy we're talking to says, "Oh, I got you, man. You can count on me. No problem. I got you." I mean, I've heard this from a lot of people. I've heard it over my entire life from my father, who I'm gradually getting over those fatherly issues. So, Pops, I hope you're watching. Still working on it. You know, how many times have we heard, "Oh, yes, baby, I'll be there. Oh, yes, son, I'll do that. Sure, I got you. Yes, I'll show up at 1:15. But then you don't do it. You know, that makes us lose faith in people. And everyone else, you know, as we've discussed already, is a part of the universe. So failure to honor our commitments, I believe very strongly, also disrespects the universe, because I am the universe, you are the universe, and if I am disrespecting you, I am also disrespecting God himself, I believe. I think it's real bad. I think we should agree, let us agree to something only when we know we can do it. And if you can't do it, if something happens, life comes up, you got to stop. You know, tell the person, don't be that guy. Just don't be that guy or girl. It's not good. You know, what happens to your self-image when you regularly don't uphold your word? We know a lot of people like this, right? I know each and every one of y'all know people like this. They say they're going to do something and they don't. They say they're going to show up on time, they don't. They say they're going to be there this time, they're not. They say they're going to help you with that and they don't. What do you think those people feel like on the inside? Like how are they on the inside? I mean, they're projecting, you know, distrust. Like whoever doesn't do that, and we've all done it before. Hopefully not consistently, but we're projecting out these vibes. Everything is vibrations. Everything is energy. So we're pushing that lack of trust onto everybody that we know. Whenever we don't do what we say we're going to do. And then that person's prone to depression. They're prone to looking down on themselves. And we get in this cycle of funk that we can't break. Because nobody then wants to be around that person because they're such a douchebag. And it's unfortunate. It's unnecessary. We don't want everybody to think, oh, nah. You know, somebody asked, Oh, that Kevin guy, you don't want to mess around with him. He's not reliable. He's not going to do what he says he's going to do. He tells y'all to show up at 1:15, but he doesn't get there till 3. You know what I mean? That would be insanity. It would just be stupid. It'd just be stupid. I think surely everybody has done this. Y'all have prayed and wished for something. God, if you help me do this one thing, if you help me through this thing, I am never going to do this other thing again. I mean, you had to have done this, Randall. Had to have. Oh God, I promise I'm not going to do that thing if you help me get through this. Man, and then we don't follow through. I mean, what kind of jackass is that? I mean, do you think the infinite just kind of laughs, just chuckles, and like, hey, here those humans go again. Like, this is crazy. You know, promise. And then what are we doing? We're doing that same feedback loop because we're not keeping our word. We're doing all of these unworthy things. And I don't think that helps us out in our cause. I think we're creating karma. I think when we don't honor what we say we're going to do, we boomerang it right back to ourselves. I mean, how many people have exaggerated their ability, Aaron? You know, like, yeah, I know how to do that. No, you don't. Oh, I have tons of experience. No, you don't. No, you don't. Oh, I did this in my other job and my other partners. Oh, I know exactly what to do. No, you don't. You know, when it becomes obvious that you don't know what you just said you knew or you had experience with, it makes you look horrible. So not only are you disrespecting your personal self, you're also disrespecting what you are, which is a powerful part of the universe. And that is not a good thing because everybody loves the truth, even if it hurts at first. Everybody wants to know the truth. I believe that this energetic environment of trust and love helps us become individually better people. And if we surround ourselves with people that honor their word, it helps us strengthen who we are. Because who's going to trust a liar? You know, I'm going to help you up. Like if any one of y'all, like I don't know a couple of y'all very well at all, but I know a lot of y'all here like extraordinarily well. I'm going to reach out my hand every single time to help you in a bad spot. Every time. And all of my close people out here know that. But if you start lying, you start saying BS, I got to let you go. And I hope all of y'all are the same way. Because if we are liars, if we don't keep our word, what are you going to do? Your kids aren't going to like you anymore. They're not going to want to spend time with you. Your friends are going to disappear. All your clients, your boss, your business partners, you're going to lose everything. You lose everything when you don't keep your word. And if you don't keep your word, you're going to stay in this weird funk that you're going to have a really, really, really hard time getting out of. How about keeping your word when a friend tells you a secret? Like what if Noah came to me and told me this secret? You know, he's whatever, he has 10 kids that he never told us about, or, you know, whatever the circumstance. But I went around and told everybody, oh, you know what? No, dumbass has 10 kids. You know, that would be insane. Like he would never trust me again to tell me anything. So when people tell us something in secret or confidence because they need our help with something and we go blabber it back out when we just promised and gave our word, that's horrible. That's horrible. Andrew is one of the best confidence people I know. Like you could tell Andrew anything, and Andrew's not telling anybody else unless you said it was okay. Like it's impressive. I've seen him do it. I like it. It's one of the reasons why I love Andrew. How about if you're consistently late? You gave your word. You're going to be somewhere at a certain time. People are going to stop asking you to do things. They just are. Groups are going to stop including you because they have, you got a group of people waiting on the one person to show up. You're going to start self-isolating. You're going to start self-sabotaging yourself. You're going to start feeling depressed. Oh, why doesn't everybody, the world's against me? No, you just have to do what you say you're going to do. You just have to show up. Just show up. And you're stealing their time. You're stealing their time. If Randall told me, Kevin, I'm going to be here at 1:15 and I need you to be there. I need you to meet me over there because I need to talk to you. If I'm not there, or if I'm there and Randall doesn't show up, well, Randall is stealing my one asset that I cannot get back, and that's my time. So if I'm waiting on him because he said he needed me at 1:15, and he didn't have the respect to let me know he was running a few minutes late, or he didn't think that it was even worth the phone call, well, he just stole from me. He stole one thing that I'll never be able to retrieve, and those would be those minutes. That hour I waited on him. I can't go back in time and get it. So we wonder why, my boss is mad at me for always being late. He has jobs to do. Oh, I don't know why these people don't ask me to do anything anymore. I wonder. You're breaking trust. We're breaking trust by theft. We just automatically assume when we let somebody into our home, they're not going to steal from us, right? I just assume, there's a good chunk of y'all here today that have been in my study, the library. And I'm just assuming that you're not going to take my stuff when we go in. I assume if you want a fine cigar, you're going to say, hey, Kev, I'd love to smoke a stogie with you. And I say, yeah, let's go grab one. Instead of you grabbing a handful of them and putting them in your back pocket. But then I find out you do that, well, then you're self-sabotaging yourself because you could have had a lifetime of wonderful, fine cigars. But guess what? You're not now because I'm not ever inviting you back. Ever. I don't care how great and wonderful you become. It's going to take years to rebuild that trust. That's horrible. How about borrowing money without paying it back? That's a real big one. How many friends have we lost by, hey man, can you give me a little bit to help me out? And then you never hear from that friend anymore. They're just gone. Forever. You can't find them. They don't want to talk to you. Y'all used to hang out all the time, and then you gave them a little money, and they're like, sorry. No. Then we feel that negativity, and we feel used and abused, and then we throw it back out into the universe. That is bad. That's bad. We need to keep our word. A solid life. I think we should all strive every single day to be self-aware and create a solid life so we can have a solid reputation. It's not necessary that we really care what everybody else thinks, but it is important because if everybody around you is talking crap about you, then that's bad. Because if Randall wants to hang out with me, but all of a sudden Rick over here or Dean says, that Kevin, you don't want to hang out with him. He's bad. He'll steal from you. He'll lie to you. If you're down, he's going to kick you. That's bad. So my reputation does matter. So if I don't keep my word, I'm self-sabotaging myself. And then I am the weakest link in our universal chain. I am destroying the little fabrics of the universe by me not honoring my word. And I think it's extraordinarily important that this one tool that most of us don't consider how important it is, from the source of all things that most people don't use, we need to be self-aware. We need to do what we say we're going to do. We need to do it for ourselves, our souls, our friends, and for the entire earth and universe is keep our word and be true to what we say. Because if we're not, everybody else is going to know it, and they're going to know it in a hurry. And that's a problem. So if this resonates with all you people that are here and have enjoyed it, not only the new people here today, but all you new people watching, come out and see us in person. It's important for us to build close friendships that we can count on and that have people we can trust in our lives. And just a side note for all you people that have never been here before, we observe God's blueprint, and I'm extraordinarily thankful that we've had a group starting to come out and work in our greenhouses so they can grow their own food for free. And anything that we have left over, we're going to give to whoever wants it that's in need. And I think it's extraordinarily important and a wonderful extra tool God gave us. So with that, visit us at mysticsoftexas.com, and we will see y'all next time. We're going to eat.